right off the bat, we got the shutout with the Patriots. I said to take the 6.5 and give them all day long and not worry about it. That turns into an ass kicking. In addition to that, if you had it as part of the teaser, you got the first leg in the bank.
There it is, right. And for good measure, New England decided that spread, right, 28-3, 25-point spread. They decided that's what the final margin of victory was going to be last night. I thought that was a nice touch.
Was that the final? I didn't even look at the final. Once I knew I had covered, it was like 19-0 late, and I went to bed, and I didn't see. 25-0. Is that what that was?
You know why I knew that? Because I didn't watch the game. I just woke up and I said, "What's the final?" Oh, yep. Oh, so
it was an easy cover.
It was a chalk Thursday night. They're not always chalk, but this one was.
I screwed up. In our little pool that we're in, I didn't pick it as one of the ones for the spread. I knew they were going to win and win big. Those are two programs going in opposite directions. And by the way, speaking of which, if you listened to me and took the over and the Louisville-Duke game, buddy, you're welcome. Again, hell, we got there with Louisville by themselves. They scored over 60 points last night. That over-under that you guys, I think you actually used the siren for that one when I did it yesterday. And
damn, Big Daddy's done it again.
Oh, buddy, just the money's falling from the skies, guys. You're welcome, everybody. There you go. What a rich Thursday. Keep it going. Hello, Eric. Hello, Jeff. Hello, guys in the chat. Hope you're well. Welcome in, everybody. Let's pick it up. Happy birthday to Clint. Happy Libations Friday, everybody. Yes.
Hot damn, Big Daddy's done it again.
By the way, he's got a goat on his thing. He's Clint the Goat. And there
we
goats.
go. Oh, wow.
Yay!
The director is ready.
He's on it today.
He's in mid-August form.
So Libations Friday, always fun. We'll bring in Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports, coming up and talk with him. Talk with him about his thoughts on that big Florida State-Miami game last week. I'm sure he can't wait to discuss it yet again.
I'm sure he's ready to discuss that. And, buddy, it's right around the corner for him. You know, it's only 5 months away from spring football game season, so I'm sure he's looking forward to those.
Oh, man, that's fun. So we'll bring him on. And then my mom and I only had one game different last week. Of course, I won it. So this is now, 9 games up, 8 games?
It's 8 or 9, I think, yeah.
It's historic, the beating that's taking place here.
That's not good.
No, every time we differ, this guy wins. It's a beautiful thing. I had to take all the picks that I have with my mom and just place them out in Vegas over and over again. I'm winning every.
What would be a good thing, like maybe in the future, and I don't mean to replace this segment. I'm just saying it's an experiment, maybe on a Thursday, Redemption Thursday. But it's just you're assigned a team based on a coin flip and see how you do. See how you do, because that's the NFL. That's the way it works.
You bet them every week? You just whatever
you
that
bet on the coin
is?
flip. 3 games, flip a coin. That the coin tells you the side, and then you see what the record is at the end of the year. And you've got to actually go on the Sportsbook app and see how it goes.
It'd be kind of fun to do. You could do it. The NFL is wild that way.
Let the coin decide.
I really do believe that the game last night was free money. That just never felt like it was going to be a competitive football game. When you found out that Atlanta was, Cordell Patterson wasn't playing, you had too many things going against them. They're not blocking it up right now. Listen, last week they got killed by Dallas, and they couldn't pass block to save their life. And
they've got issues.
Yeah. And then, so last night, it's, I think before you could even look up, New England had 5 sacks. I was like, oh, Matt Ryan, this is going to be a long night for your ass, because he's not that mobile. And when that line breaks down, you're like, it's going to be a tough day at the office. Who's the guy with the red sleeves that had a good game against us that they brought up over and over again? New England, sack extraordinaire.
Oh, I forget his name.
Well, he had a night again. He's a player, whoever he is. I never remember his name.
Doesn't matter. They're all anonymous in New England, and then they leave and they do little to nothing. And then Bill gets another guy called Walensky, and he has 15 sacks.
I think this guy's a good player no matter where he goes. He's a really good guy. I mean, that dude plays, and I should probably know his name. But anyhow, they had success again. You look ahead at our game on Saturday, and it'll be here before you know it, because that is tomorrow at noon, everybody. That is a noon kickoff tomorrow. So obviously we're less than 24 hours from kickoff, and it's weird to say that out loud, but we are, and it's a vital, important game and an important result, an important test for this team to show that they're mature enough that they can dial it back up, find the focus and intensity necessary to go on the road and get you a win. If you do, you go into the final game of the year against the University of Florida. Obviously, it's a rivalry game. We would really be humming at that point, but you would also have the ability to earn, not just be gifted, but earn a bowl game entry. And I would say to you, and I have, and we agree on this, it could be that silly bowl down in St. Pete. at the Trop. It could be anywhere, and to me, it'd be one of the biggest bowls they've ever gotten to.
Oh, buddy.
I mean, that would be huge.
How about a live show from Fergs? What do you think? How about that's full circle for you?
It would be.
Yeah, it's almost like we could do a retrospective with soft piano music, talking about what Fergs means, and that would be fantastic.
I've told the story before. It's no longer there, sadly. It was for years. I don't know why they took it down, but there was over by the bathrooms. Appropriately enough, over by the bathroom, there's a picture of me making a tackle in a game at Lakewood, and it was from the St. Pete Times article. And I used to brag about it to everybody who would say, Pete, like, where should I go drink? Go to Fergs. And when you go, make sure you go down the hallway by the bathroom there and look at the picture on the left hand side.
Well, hey, maybe we can check the storage closet when we're there, live video to see if we can find it. That'd be fun.
I don't know whatever happened to it. But here's the funny thing. I will say this, that Fergs that you're talking about, which would be fun to do a show from, and we could, I know the owner. I would just tell you that I was there when they first opened up. Remember when they first opened up anyhow. And my old high school coach was a bartender for a while. He worked there part-time. And the funny thing about that place is it was about the size of this where we are right now in the radio studio.
So it was palatial.
It was it was tiny compared to what it is now. I mean, now it's 2 stories, and obviously it's branded into something different. They got one in Tampa there, and I mean it's nuts.
That one closed.
They moved it, or I think they moved spots.
They may have moved to somewhere else downtown, but it was called Fergs Live. And I think the way that they understood that land was eventually going to be poached by the owner, Jeff Venix, or like, hey, let's make a couple of bucks while we're waiting. And that's what they did.
Okay.
Because of Sparkman's Wharf.
Oh,
that's like, that's his area. I was
yeah.
like, you know what? Let's not go against the head man here.
Well, bottom line is that would be fun. And the point is, if Florida State is able to get to a bowl, what a monumental achievement that would be. There you go, Jared. LHS, baby. Yeah. We are decidedly different ages. I graduated in 1989. He graduated in 2010.
Yeah, Jared's more my peer than anything.
Oh, man. So not
even, though.
The funny thing is, by the way, the oddity is I ran into somebody recently. This is just an aside while we're talking about old things. I've mentioned this before. It became a promo. I did work at the Don Cesar for years and loved it and enjoyed my time there, as you well know.
Oh, yes, you did. It's very profitable.
But I ran into a guy who got married at the Don Cesar, and he didn't have any idea, what he was saying. He was talking to me, and he's like, yeah, I'm not from down there, but my wife is. And in fact, we got married at this place. It's kind of famous. I'm trying to, the Don Cesar. I was like, yes, I work. Yeah. So,
Donnie Caesar.
Yeah. So back to Florida State. We both think, and we've said this, that they're going to show up tomorrow, that they're going to look good.
Yeah.
And I feel that way again today. Sometimes your mood shifts as the week goes along. You gather more information. You read the stories on warchant.com. You kind of talk to people about how practice went. You do all that stuff. And, you feel emboldened or a little less confident. Well, I tell you what, as the week has gone on, I felt more and more confidence that they're going to show up.
Right. So much so you're like, what's wrong with this picture?
Mm-hmm.
Almost like the NC State Miami game. We're like, what? Wrong team. What is this? What is this betting line? Why is NC State? And the next thing you know, Miami ends up winning the game outright.
Mm-hmm.
But this one is matchup based. I mean, it really is. We often like to joke about Rocky. Rocky won. He's wrong for us, baby.
All wrong.
Boston College, he's right for us. They're right for us.
Oh, that's
this
exactly
is a good
right.
matchup.
Yeah, they give up explosive plays in the run game. We want to run, and we want to stick with the run. Even though Jordan took a step forward in the pass game, he's still not an elite passing quarterback by any stretch of the imagination. So you want to stick to your game plan here, run the ball, create the angles, create the extra gap, do those things. They've been susceptible to giving up those big plays in the run game. So, yeah, it is a good matchup for us. Now, that secondary is going to have to come to play because that kid can throw it. And he's got arm talent. He's a big, strong kid. He's going to be an NFL draft pick. You're going to have to play well. If you're not on it, he'll put it on the receiver, and you got problems on your hands. So it will be interesting. Let's see if we can get to them with the front four. By the way, before I move forward, Marcus, good job. Thank you so much. Happy Friday to you as well. Yeah, let's keep it nice and loosey-goosey today. Gentlemen, he writes, who will be our standout player on Saturday? Thank you. Saturday? Again, I think we're talking about the run game here, so it's either Jordan Travis or one of the two backs.
Yeah, I think the most important player to be a standout would be an interior defensive lineman, because this is a quarterback who is not afraid to climb the pocket. The way he moves around between the tackles is professional-like. Now, he doesn't have the arm talent of a standard NFL pro. He's got the hand talent. He can put trajectories on footballs, and he's got enough arm talent to get the ball where it needs to go in college. But he's not Tyler Van Dyke, where he's got a fastball or a DJ, where you just go, whoa.
So but he's anticipatory. He knows where he's going, and he's accurate.
Correct. And the attribute of Sunday-like quarterbacking that he shows is when he's flustered, he doesn't break outside the tackles. He climbs up the middle. So to me, the key for the standout is one of your two interior defensive linemen. Can they go eat this weekend? Because if they can and they get at Phil's feet, old Phil Jerkovic is in trouble, man, because he's going to be running into the arms of a Jermaine Johnson or Keir Thomas.
Yeah, and those guys have shown up, and they've proven that when the moment is big and we're relying on them, that they can play. And I think they will here. I don't think that's a dominant offensive line for Boston College the way it has been in other years. They're not great in the run game. This is a flawed Boston College team. They've had some injuries. It's not an elite defense. It's a better defense than it was a year ago. Under Adazio, things got ugly. That's why they made the change. They were no longer that team that showed up and consistently played good defense the way they did for years there. But they're better this year, but they're not great. The numbers, all the advanced numbers are not good for them. So you got a chance to move the football here. Now, unfortunately, I do think they'll make enough plays to be in that game, and we could have ourselves a rather high-scoring affair. We'll see.
So if Amarian Cooper is good to go full speed, because I know he got dinged up towards the end of the Miami game, I think he's okay.
Yeah.
But that matchup against Zay Flowers,
yeah,
that's fun. That's fun because that kid is an a-hole.
Oh,
he's an a-hole.
Yes, and he talks and he does all that. Yep.
He's akin to a Steve Smith and Julian Edelman type, where you're just like, or was it? Yeah, it's Edelman. Edelman was a little runt, and you're like, shut up, dude. That's the guy.
Yeah, but they were both good players.
And so is Zay Flowers.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's frustrating.
So that's a big matchup because Jerkovic likes to go his way when things are a problem.
Can't go his way when you're on your ass.
That's correct.
That's how that's going to work, buddy.
On your
ass. Get you some of that. My kids have gotten to where they like when I say sit your ass. I say it to the TV a lot, like especially in baseball season, You
could say that a lot in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
Like 50 times a game.
Yeah. Well, I'm not talking about Florida State baseball. I'm just talking about baseball. Yeah. But if one of our pitchers punches somebody out, I'm like, sit your ass. And it's always, and then Bryson Clark will giggle. They love it. Like, that's right, Dad. Tell them to sit their ass. Hopefully we're telling Jerkovic to sit his ass a lot in this game.
Well, if that's what happens, then I imagine your mentions on Twitter are going to say that quite a bit
that's fine. I like it. It's all good. It's Jeff Cameron Show 93.3 Real Talk Radio and Warchant TV. Our partners at ISF know you want to do amazing things. You have big ideas and goals for the future. For over 40 years, ISF has focused on solving the future for state government through strategy, process, and technology. As a national management and IT consulting firm, ISF has the expertise to transform strategies, refine processes, and implement solutions to lead you in today's changing environment. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
Hi, I'm Jeff, founder of Which Superior Sandwiches, and I'm here to tell you about our signature witch, the Wicked. Why call it the Wicked? Some say it's wicked tasty, some say it's wicked large. One thing's for sure, with oven-roasted turkey, ham, pepperoni, roast beef, and bacon, as well as your choice of 3 cheeses, it definitely takes you from wicked hungry to wicked happy in just a few wicked good bites. Only at Which Superior Sandwiches.
On Wednesday, the Wicked is just $5. 5 meats, 3 cheeses, $5.
Parker's Services, conferences to call away. 222-7722. Heating and cooling is the job we do. Systems, service installation too. 222-7722. Parker's Services, conferences to call away.
Hello, this is Jeremy. During this time of reflection, I want to thank our many wonderful customers. It is truly an honor to serve each of you, and we are so blessed to consider many of you our friends. Tallahassee is a very special place that attracts the nicest people on the planet. Personally, I'm thankful to care for our area's home comfort systems along with the amazing team of Parker Services employees. Their commitment to the service of each customer is incredible and an inspiration to be around. We at Parker Services wish each of you a very happy Thanksgiving.
Parker Services, conferences to call away.
Parker Brothers Roofing says don't play games with your roof. Protect your home and your family Parker Brothers tell you the truth. We'll fix your roof, 'cause it's what we do. With quality, integrity, and pride. Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
Getting your roof inspected can save you thousands of dollars in the event of a major storm. Not to mention the peace of mind knowing that you and your family are protected. At Parker Brothers Roofing, we make it easy with free estimates, affordable financing, and professional installation every time since 1995. Call 656-8112 or visit parkerbrothersroofing.net today.
Parker Brothers Roofing, professional every time. Stay safe and dry inside.
Did you know that in a single year, more than $1 trillion in Social Security benefits were paid out? If you're nearing retirement age and have questions about your Social Security, I can help. This is Craig Collins with Collins Income Tax Solutions. If you've been concerned about your Social Security benefits, give me a call for a free consultation to learn how we can help maximize your Social Security benefits. I'm online at collinsincometexsolutionsllc.com or give me a call directly at 850-391-7659.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness. 2 Tallahassee locations, Midtown on Thomasville Road and Northside in the Village Common Shopping Center. Online at orangetheoryfitness.com.
Have to be. It's simply stunning outside. It's a perfect day for us not to be in this studio.
To be golfing.
To be golfing indeed.
Yep.
To enjoy a round of golf and an ice cold beer.
You were invited to one, and so was I.
Yep. Couldn't do it.
We are true professionals.
Hey, it's football season. You can't just be willy-nilly, lollygagging.
That's
You
correct.
got to show up to work, baby.
Hey, man, we've got a chance to make a bowl, so let's do it.
Well, and almost more than that, I would just say, Sharkbite just posted this on the chat, and I try to find a balance there. I don't read everything that goes on the chats, but when it's a point that I wholeheartedly agree with or find interesting,
We hope not.
then I am going to look at it and talk about it, because I do think that is the one thing. If you have, well, first let me read what he said. I love how Coach Norvell never wavered his message. He stayed consistent despite the lowest of lows. All that's true. I would just say this. That's because he believes what he preaches. People who change the message or the even the methodology once they face a high level of adversity never believed in it to begin with. If you are somebody who has a plan that you want to put in place and you understand that it's going to take time for that to A, have players connect with, and B, execute, then you're willing to ride out that passage in which, unfortunately, the message, repeated, has not effectively changed how they perform. You're going to have to deal with that as long as you're seeing signs that they've bought in and they're doing the things that you need them to do that will get you to where you want to go. And you have this plan in place. You'll live with the fact that it's going to take some time. You'll live with the fact that you're going to suffer losses along the way. Because, again, it shows there's a willingness to do what you ask, and you believe in it. You concocted it. It's like if you talk to any offensive coordinator, the plays, everybody knows the plays. If you go talk to an NFL head coach or position coach, there's nothing new under the sun. But yet teams run different offenses. Teams run different schemes based on their personnel, based on what they think will be most effective, based on something that allows them to disguise their weaknesses and highlight their strengths, right? But the plays are the plays. It's just what you choose from there, how you prepare, how you go about teaching, implementing, executing. That's different. That's coach by coach. Those are philosophies adapted over time from mentors along the way that you've now incorporated to have an overriding philosophy of maybe your own, which takes a little from here, a little from there, a little from over here. That's all you can do is to fall back on that, or else you wouldn't be where you are. You wouldn't be able to make it to that level where you're a head coach at Florida State or anywhere else if you didn't have a way in which you did things and stuck to it.
Well, there's two parts to that. Number one, he believes what he's saying. So yes, you stick to that credo because it's coming from the heart. Number two, he knew what this team was. He wasn't shocked by their flaws. He knew what he was looking at. That's important because remember,
not everybody does.
After the Virginia Tech game on a Monday night, Labor Day, you remember the presser?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like the record scratch when Willie walks into the room and the look he gives to the camera, the stunned look. It's like a Scorsese dialogue is going to come right behind it with Ray Liotta's voice.
Yeah.
That's when I knew that this was a bigger problem than I ever imagined. Right. But for Mike, he knew exactly what he was looking at, which is why he told the recruits in the offseason, we're aiming for 6-6 here, guys.
Yeah.
As I've said, pardon our dust, because that's what it's going to take.
Gabriel, thank you very much. Hey, Jeff, love the show. The best case scenario to end the season is to obviously win out. That would make us 7-6. If that were to happen, what would the right expectations be for 2022? Somewhere in there. Oh, nobody wants to hear that.
Woo!
8-4, 7-5-ish. They got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Still got a lot of work to do. That's not going to change. You would think some things are possible, though, because
7.5 or 8.5, depending upon what you do in the transfer portal, I think is a fair win.
Well, that's the biggest one. I mean, that's you're projecting here. You're going to have some wins and losses there in terms of personnel, but what you get in the transfer portal, which of the kids that you're signing from this class are capable, both physically and emotionally and mentally, are they capable of playing right away? That kind of thing. Jeremy, thank you as well. God, guys are feeling really, really enthused on a Libations Friday and contributing to what we do, and I appreciate that. Awesome week of coverage like always. Thanks, Jeff and Tom. Go Noles, go Warchant. Thank you, Jeremy. I appreciate that. Your support, guys, means a lot, and we do appreciate it. That's why we tell you all the time to like and subscribe. It helps other people find what we do and gives us more opportunities to do more of that and expand it even. So that's always exciting, and I appreciate that. But back to Florida State here for a second. Again, I would have been really concerned, as you were noting, that had he decided to dramatically alter what they were doing, that would have been a nightmare scenario.
Well, we like him, for the reason that it would appear he can see talent. If you look at offer lists of some of the kids that he offers and then big-time schools follow suit, right? We like it. Maybe it's not to the level of Jimbo, because Jimbo was elite at looking at a kid who's 14, 15 years old and be like, well, yeah, that's the one. But Mike knows he can assess and see what he's looking at. That sounds so simple, but a lot of coaches, honestly, when they look at their roster and assess who they have and who they don't, look at Miami. Van Dyke is only discovered because of injury. Like, what is that? Jalen Knighton, only because of injury.
That does happen, though. I mean, it is a thing. It's weird that happens. I think some guys are, we've seen before guys that turn it on when the lights come on. Other times, there are guys that just for whatever reason don't show up in practice. Other guys are practice all-stars but really struggle in the games. So it does happen. But you're right. You do need to have a guy that can project what a player can be and how you're going to use them also. It's that time. There he is, Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. My man joins us every Libations Friday. This one no different. Hello, Lee. How are you, brother?
A lot better today. Looks like Miami finally has figured it out. And I'm sure you saw the news. The administration, the school is going to tip in $20 to $30 million a year, prop up the football program.
Yeah, it's a good idea. Now the question will be, does that mean they're doing that in lieu of firing your favorite head coach?
Oh, he's gone. Man, he's gone. I mean, the question is it as he's walking off the field in the last game against Duke, once the players leave, or they call them in Sunday morning and ask them to come in, tell them they're having little bagels and donuts, and little kumbaya. So I'd say it's 98, 99%. So you don't fire the athletic director unless he's going.
Well, the only thing is you would have to have a plan in place, right? Because you think about it, you've got a real short window here, a small amount of time to be able to then go hire an athletic director who's going to want to put a stamp on the program by hiring the next head coach. You got to get moving here.
Oh, real quick, because, kids are signing December 15th.
Yeah.
I mean, everything has changed. It used to be, let's wait a week or two, after the season, or maybe you fire. I mean, I think there's like 11 or 12 openings right now. Coaches had already been let go because you got to get going. You got to have a coach in place at the latest by the 1st.
Yeah. December
1st or 2nd, and then you got to bring kids in that one weekend. And Miami, they only have like 7 or 8 commitments.
No, they're a mess right now. This class, no matter how it's put together and who's putting it together, will not be good. It just won't be. They're going to have to take a loss there and then go and try to obviously capitalize for next year.
Who do you think? I think it's going to be Mario. Number one, they go after.
Yep.
Mario Cristobal. And even a $9 million buyout, if they could chip in the administration $20 to $30 million, you can buy a guy out for $9 million. And I think that's their number one target, and I think number 2 is Lane Kiffin.
Would you leave Oxford to go to Miami?
Did you hear what he said on game day? He still has a home in South Florida. That kind of says it all.
No, I know, but it's one thing to have a home there. It's another to work at that school. I don't know. That's a good job at Ole Miss.
Jeff, I got a little over $400 in my wallet. I'll bet anyone if they want. If it's offered to him, he's taking it. He has 15 plus seniors or kids going pro. 15 plus starters. I mean, he knows he's not going to be able to keep it going there. I mean, he had a nice little run. It's great. And do I think he's the equal to Mario as a recruiter? No, but you know what? With that offense in South Florida here, all the talent down here.
Oh, it's the right hire. I don't disagree with you there. It's just a matter of whether or not he'll take the job. I mean, I look at it right now. He's making $4.5 million this year. He'll get a $500,000 retention bonus if he's the coach on December 31st, which he will be. He is slated to earn $5.25 million in 2022. He makes, by the time we get to 2024, he's making nearly $6 million a year. Now, if Miami's now serious, then that's what they're going to have to pay, and then some, right?
Jeff, they'll pay him $6.5, $7 million.
There you go.
And he will be down here. He'll.
No, he's the right guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he might hire his own jet. And here's why I think if it's not Mario, he would be the right guy. Kids here, they want to have fun, and they would see the offense, and they would be knocking on his door to get in.
Also, he's perfectly criminal and dirty, like Miami needs. It's so perfectly who that program is, Lee.
I thought you were going to be nice and say, has a little swag like I do, and he's a little. I'm not dirty, but
yeah.
I don't think you would have to be dirty.
Well, these days you could just straight up pay kids and say it's part of a car deal or something like that. Yeah.
Well, you saw that the American Top Team, the owner, a Miami fan. He's every kid on the team, even the recruits. I think get $500 a month. So.
All right, so we got some interesting games. Let's get to it. It should be fascinating. Alabama minus 20.5 against Arkansas. That's a huge number for what's been a pretty decent Arkansas team. Then again, Alabama's playing well right now. How do you see it?
You hit it on the head. Decent. Decent isn't good enough to beat Alabama.
Right.
Alabama's defense is getting better. Top 5 now in the country. They always get better as the year goes on. They throw in new wrinkles. Now, here's the problem if you're Arkansas. You don't have the talent to match up with them. So you got to do something like maybe LSU and blitz crazy. LSU blitz in that game almost every single down, multiple guys. So Alabama's seen it now. They can practice against it. Bill O'Brien may not be as good as Steve Sarkisian as far as calling plays, but he's no dummy. And they'll work on it. And there is no way Arkansas is going to beat Bama for the first time since 2006 when Michael Shula was the head coach here. I think once they get up a couple touchdowns, that's when you're going to see the interceptions just roll up in Alabama. They'll win easy here. Roll Tide, 48-17.
Florida is a mess. Gave up 42 in the first half to Samford. They can score. Missouri can't stop anybody from scoring. I don't know. Does Florida care to be there? Might be the question I'd ask before placing a wager in this game. They're favored by 9.
If any Florida kid is excited about this game, they're lying. There's no way they want to go to Columbia, Missouri on Saturday afternoon to play football. Am I right?
That's correct, yes.
Yeah. I mean, I guess they like the defensive coordinator a lot because they have not just showed up at all.
No.
I mean, tackling isn't even optional anymore. It's not in the equation. So they got some problems here. Now Missouri's run defense was the worst I've seen in maybe a decade.
It's awful.
Awful. Did you hear that the benchmark now is that they practically throw a party if they hold someone under 200 yards rushing? I mean, that's they go out and celebrate. So they got problems, but at least they got a running game. Tyler Batty's running back for them. He looked like Barry Sanders in a couple games this year. Here he has 3 200-plus yards here, and at least they care. There is no way, if you're betting games, now you might win one, you might get lucky. I don't know, but I would never. A seasoned bettor would never bet Texas, never would bet Florida. I think Missouri wins outright. And remember, they're trying to get to a bowl. They win this game, they're going to a bowl. You don't think these kids want to get to a bowl and play, and
just get to any bowl, sure, yeah.
Yeah, get what do they get, like $300-400
and get the hell out of Columbia, Missouri.
Yeah, there you go. Missouri 41-38.
How about that? So obviously you believe the Missouri team total at 28.5 is a bit low. We're going over right there, baby. There you go. Let's double down. Pittsburgh minus 13.5 against Virginia. Virginia's defense is terrible. They're facing a top-flight quarterback here, but Virginia can really score. So is the 13.5 enough here? What do you say?
So I think Brennan Armstrong is going to play. I think so. What's interesting is the line was 13.5, and today it's ticked up to 14.5.
Oh, boy.
So I'm going to wait to see if he plays. If he plays, the difference in him playing, it's like going from Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love. I mean, the kid that played last week, Jay Woolfolk,
can't play.
True freshman, horrible, not ready to play. So I think it's worth, like in the NFL, you say a quarterback is worth, a real good quarterback, 7-8 points. Brennan Armstrong might be worth 17 to 20 points, believe it or not, because he averages 425 total yards running and passing per game. Their defense is awful, but before that game against Notre Dame, they were 11-4 against the spread. I think Pitt wins 45-40, but Virginia covers.
A wild affair again, yeah. All right, so Boston College is favored in this game. I understand that. I really do feel like FSU is playing good football right now. They've gotten better each week. They believe in the coaches. They believe in each other. I think they're going to go win the game outright. You may disagree. What say you about BC minus 1.5?
So if BC didn't have their quarterback, I would look to FSU.
Oh, sure.
But Phil Jervik, I think the kid's going to get drafted in the top 2 rounds.
Oh, yeah, he's a good player.
He's a stud. And Florida State has won 9 out of 10 straight up. No one wants to go to the Boston area, Chestnut Hill. No one wants to go there in November either. So I think it's hard to get that focus back. What's interesting about this offense since he came back, and he's a very prolific passer and runner. I mean, he had 2 games. His first game back, I think he ran for like 80, 90 yards, average over 10 yards a carry. They've thrown the ball only 20 of the 58 plays the first game he was back, and then they only threw it 13 of the 67 last week. So they haven't even had to throw the football, and that's their strength here. I think they're holding back some stuff here. And Florida State, just 4-13 against the spread as the road dog. They won their Super Bowl last week. Boston College, 30-23.
I think you're wrong, Lee. Kansas City minus 2.5 against Dallas. This is an awesome game in the NFL. Who you got?
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Maybe the first defense to make 3 stops wins this game. So many great players. CeeDee Lamb, Cheetah, Travis Kelce. These guys are all unguardable. So the Kansas City defense, which was horrible the first 5 games of the year, found themselves. Last 5 games, they've given up only 78 points. And then all of a sudden, Dallas's defense really come to life this year. But they're going to have to they need like 7-8 guys to rush the passer against Patrick Mahomes. No Randy Gregory. And they have just 5 sacks in 4 road games here. I like Kansas City 47-42. Should be a fun game.
Crazy game. Fun game. I can't wait to watch it. All right, your game of the week is another one that could be a lot of fun. Clemson is given 4.5 to Wake Forest. How can folks get this game, Lee?
I'm going to do this. Let me throw this in also. I think Miami wins but doesn't cover this weekend. It could depend on weather. I think that Virginia Tech, without a coach, it's just going to – last week they were throwing everything at Duke. Now they'll throw even more this week. That could be a fun game if the weather is okay. I have Miami winning that game something like 35-34. So I would take the points there. But got a real strong opinion on Clemson, Wake Forest. If they want to get that, just call right now, 800-400-9741. The rest of November, that is football, college football, NFL. We had 40. You're going to play last week on the Carolina Panthers, plus between 9 and 10 points, 134-10. They want to come on board. All the football, all the basketball, NBA and college, UFC and hockey, everything through the end of the month. Just $297, ParamountSports.com.
Love it, Lee. Always. Be well, sir. I'll talk to you again next week.
Sounds good. See you, Jeff.
Bye. That's Lee Sterling, Paramount Sports. We also do on the College Sports Book. He and I now work together at that show with the week-to-week Heisman updates. We've been on the C.J. Stroud train for 3 weeks, and I mean, this is shaping up nicely. If you got him at the odds where we originally talked about it on the College Sports Book on YouTube, there you can like and subscribe. You are set to make some money. Kind of like what I did before the season with Utah winning the division in the Pac-12 and, of course, Georgia at plus 800 to win the national title.
It's going to be a fun game tomorrow night, Utah and Oregon.
It will be a real fun game. I'm interested in the game for a lot of reasons, but I just think most of which is those are two pretty good football teams. It's Cameron Rising saved my bacon because the start of the year for Utah, they fell all over themselves, and I was sitting there thinking, well, that's a lost bet. They made a change at quarterback. They went to Cameron Rising, and they've just been pounding people. So it saved my bacon. It really did. Gave me a chance. Gave me a fighting chance. That's a good game. I think you're right about that. A lot of good games this weekend. Ton of them. Hell, that I mentioned C.J. Stroud, but I mean, Ohio State and Michigan State should be a fun game. I think that's going to be a very high-scoring game.
Yeah. Yeah, Lee seems to think that all these points are going to be scored. I mean, 47-42, Kansas City, Dallas. I know it's an odd number. He's just projecting a big-time over. But could you imagine if that game was in the 40s? Man.
Well, I've got Kelsey, so that'd be great. That would be great. That would probably portend of good things for me. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Tallahassee is continuing to welcome refugees from Afghanistan. In the last 2 months, the International Rescue Committee has helped over 75 Afghan refugees settle into the region. Some refugees land at the Tallahassee airport with suitcases, others with clothes on their back and a passport. People and families are fleeing Afghanistan after the Taliban overtook their country. The IRC is also thankful for their many volunteers and donations they've already received and is asking for more monetary donations. A Tallahassee doctor has been sentenced to 7 years in prison for his role in a $28 million healthcare fraud scheme. Moses DeGraff Johnson had pled guilty to all 58 counts against him in federal court back in December of 2020. Some of those counts included doing surgeries on patients that did not really need them. The judge also ordered him to pay nearly $28.5 million in restitution and to surrender his medical license. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Mainly sunny this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 71. Winds out of the northeast, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, lows around 50. Highs level off around 70 tomorrow. Mainly sunny skies and calm. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Sunday with daytime highs approaching 74. 68 Monday. This report is brought to you by The Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 67.
What's important when shopping at a gun store? Let's start with a friendly and knowledgeable staff. Then add top-notch service, great selection and pricing, and a personal shopping experience only found at a locally owned and operated business. At Red Hills Arms, they're right on target. While other gun stores come and go, Red Hills Arms remains Tallahassee's go-to local gun store for all your firearms needs. Stop by today and get welcomed in like family.
Live and living color and totally free. Subscribe to Warchant TV on YouTube, the digital home of Warchant.com. From the practice field to pregame and the phone calls afterwards, Warchant's YouTube channel is home to live programming like Seminole Headlines, Wake Up Warchant, The Jeff Cameron Show, as well as Trench Talk, a live Q&A with Noles offensive lineman Devontae Love-Taylor. Just search Warchant on YouTube and click or tap the subscribe button. That's it. It's totally free. Warchant TV on YouTube. Just another reason we're the ultimate Seminole sports source.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Kent Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
It's wicked fast reliability and all that good stuff. We also use it for the streaming of the show and all that good stuff.
I can tell you a story about Director Matthew, and it applies to the goodness that is Xfinity. He used a competitor's internet here in town, and we do a lot of work. Your college sportsbook work is largely produced by Director Matthew behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Well, when you're dealing with video files, they're big files. Sometimes they can be upwards of a couple of gigs, usually at least between 400 and 500 megabytes. So if your upload speeds are terrible, you're going to be waiting forever. And then the network times out and you have to start over again from scratch. And it's 20 minutes out of your life, 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours out of your day. That was unnecessary. So Matthew asked, he said, legit, like not talking about, promotional stuff. Is your Xfinity fast to upload? I'm like, dude, yeah. He goes, well, how long would it take for a 400 megabyte video to upload? I'm like, I don't know, 30 seconds. He goes, it takes me 20 minutes, 25 minutes.
See, real life. There you go, buddy.
My man switched and he's converted. That is true. He can nod. I'll even move the camera over to him. You go ahead and give him the thumbs up. That is true.
There it is. All right.
So there it is. Bona fide, folks. If you're struggling with those CenturyLink freaks, go get you some Xfinity.
Good stuff. Tom writes, hey, Jeff, taking lunch, was wondering if you think they will give any odds for Travis Hunter to win the Heisman next year. I honestly never checked out preseason Heisman odds. No, there will be no odds for Travis Hunter to win the Heisman, I don't think, next year.
10,000 and put a couple of bucks on it. Hey, man, if he's a two-way stud, that gets you up the ranks quick.
I mean, I don't know. I mean,
plus 10,000 is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, but I guess.
But imagine if college football had a two-way star. You had a guy come in, and maybe he's even a third down player at safety and corner on defense, but then he's a receiver who lights up the country for 850 to 1,000 yards. People are going to cover that. That just does. That does.
Yeah, but I'm not going to project a kid to walk through the door and do that. That is so preternaturally great. I mean, maybe he does. Maybe he's that good. I know that the highlight reels we've all watched are extraordinary. He's definitely an alpha, an elite athlete, a guy that steps on the field here immediately upon arriving. I agree with all of that. But then to extend that further and say not only is he going to achieve that, but he's going to be one of, if not the best player in the country as a freshman, nah, I don't see it.
I agree with you there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a mega long shot. But if you can get Travis, if you know, and wait till camp, that'd be my answer, Tom. If maybe there are whispers in fall camp that one Travis Hunter is a two-way stud, and it looks like he's actually going to do it. They're going to play him on both sides of the football. And you can get some place to give you unbelievable odds.
You could sprinkle pizza, buddy, as I always say. Sure.
$5 might make your year. Who knows?
Either way, get Xfinity.
That's right. Call 1-800-XFINITY. Go to Xfinity.com or stop by a local Xfinity store today.
That's correct.
That's the old tag.
All right. Now, ordinarily, we wouldn't break this quickly.
Ordinarily?
Ordinarily. I'm going to give you a little 2-minute. I said I was going to do this today on the air. And this might be a place to work it in. My extreme frustration with the basketball goal situation.
Go for it, man. Now, we've had to hear about this, folks, for last month, so it's nice that somebody else gets to hear it.
It's unreal. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you guys, and this is because I want help. I need help. I need advice here. I have not been this angry about service or lack thereof.
Hey, Karen, you are not.
And maybe in my life, maybe in my lifetime. So I bought a beautiful NBA goal from Dick's Sporting Goods. Dick's is not the subject of my ire. I went there. They didn't have them in stock forever. Supply. We all know the deal right now.
Nothing to do with the sporting goods store.
Nothing to do. But they finally. So there was building frustration trying to buy this goal, and I couldn't locate one. And then they finally did, and I bought it. Now, when you invest the kind of coin I did for this goal, then you expect really good service, obviously. And so I also know me. I joke about this all the time. I'm not good at putting things together, building stuff. I'm just not. So I also don't want to do it. Even if I was great at it, I don't want to do it. I want to pay somebody to do it, so I don't have to because I value my damn time.
Opportunity cost.
There it is. So I said to the people at Dick's, hey, when I buy this goal, if I'm spending, and I don't mind telling you guys, if I'm spending $2,000 on a basketball goal, I want it professionally installed.
Jesus.
It was $2,100. So now it's a professional goal. It's it's unreal. It's awesome.
In theory.
Well, yeah. So I bought this goal. And I said, now listen, if I'm going to spend that kind of money on a goal, I want it professionally installed. I want people to come out and do this. I don't want to do it because I'll screw it up and then I'll be really pissed because I spent all this money and I don't want to do that. They said, that's fine, Mr. Cameron. We have a service for that. We contract them out and then they'll set up a date and time, come out and install your goal. I was like, that's beautiful because I also don't have the time. So it's an extra $300. I'm like, that's fine. If you're spending $2,100, what the hell you care? $2,400, right? So, okay. I did it. Boom. The whole one kit and caboodle, the whole shebang. Bam. All right. Now I'm excited. I come home. I tell my son, because that's who it's for. It's for Bryce. He's a basketball nut. I'm so excited. He's excited. Here we go. So then they said, hey, the goal will be sent to your house. And then once the goal arrives, you'll, tell us and we'll tell the company that we hire to come out there and set up a time. So long story short, we finally get the goal. Then they set up a time. Guys come out. 2 guys. Nice gentlemen. They come in. They dig the hole. They pour the concrete. They break the anchor. They screw the whole thing up. So the guy says to me, I'm really sorry about all that. We're going to have to order new parts, and we're going to have to start over once those parts come. Okay, so fast forward. Now I got to wait a week on parts.
That's not a problem.
That's not a problem. I'm okay. I'm like, hey, it happens. At least you're honest to me about breaking it. Okay, let's not do that again, but all right. So then anyhow, they send the parts to me. I get the parts. They say, as soon as you get them, make sure you text me and let me know that you've got them so I'll come back out. Okay, good. Got them. Here we go. Dudes come back out, right? And say they're going to come out on a Monday. Oh, okay, great. So now this was before Halloween. Now we're into November. Okay, so this is 2 weeks later. Then we get to that Monday. Dude doesn't show up. I'm like, this guy doesn't show up. So then I say to the guy, hey, where are you at? What's going on? Sitting here with a goal. He goes, I can't come today, Jeff. One of my guys didn't show up to work. I'm going to have to come on Wednesday instead. All right. That's a little troublesome, but it happens. Guy didn't show up to work. What are you going to do? I'll see you Wednesday. So every time this happens, I have to tell Bryce, sorry about that. But it's coming. It's not my fault. What do you want me to do? So guy says, I guarantee you I'll be there Wednesday morning, 8 a.m. I'm like, I'll be here with bells on, buddy. So then Wednesday comes, nothing. Crickets, nobody. I'm sitting there till like 11 a.m.
No call, no show.
Like an a-hole, just sitting there. And I'm, okay, now I'm in. No call, no show. So now I call and I go, yo, what's the story? My guy's not here. Well, yes, Mr. Cameron, we've tried to reach him all morning as well. He's ghosted us as well. We can't find him. We don't know where he is. Now, I may or may not have said that dude better be dead because that's the only excuse for him not to be here right now. What is going on? He guaranteed me. Then she says, I know, we can't find him. We'll get back to you when we do. What does that even mean? So, all right.
You want to name drop the company?
No, not right yet.
Okay.
But anyhow, so then, so she calls me back at like 5 o'clock that afternoon. We can't find him. We're going to have to get new technicians on the job. Okay. Well, let's get him. Let's get him on the job. Let's have him here tomorrow morning. Oh, well, we'll see. We'll get back to you. I understand your frustration, Mr. Cameron. I'm like, do you understand my frustration? Okay. So then we're now 3 weeks after the fact, right? So not this week, but last week, same thing. They have a crew that's going to come. Doesn't show. Now, at this point, Tom, now this is why you started to have to hear this every day. I'm really getting to a place where you understand how people lose it and others get hurt. So I'm furious at that point, and I feel terrible for my son. So the long story short is those sons of bitches don't come at all. And then finally they tell me, it's going to be November 29th. November 29th. Can you imagine having the gumption, the temerity to call me and tell me November 29th after all of this?
I would imagine that's the messenger and not the decision maker. Though.
Correct. And I
Yeah.
said to the messenger, I'm not mad at you, but I am mad. And here's our situation. We're going on over a month. And I that's the first time I've yelled at a stranger, I don't know in how long, where they could hear me. And I said, what are we doing? Surely there are people in this town, I believe, it just probably randomly driving down the road who are listening to this going, I'll put your goal up. Well, come on. Reach out to me. Come put goal up. I'll pay you. This is ridiculous. I'm furious.
You're also taking the high road by not mentioning the company.
It's select service something. Well, this is my voicemail.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, these pieces of garbage.
All right.
Oh, I've never
the phone caller is not the subject of your ire here. This
No.
is just somebody who has to.
It is unbelievable.
It's like sometimes
a month.
Sometimes the kitchen screws up and the server has to wear it.
Yes,
and it's not their fault.
I know that, and I've said that. I said I understand, but I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. And so the lady said November 29th. And I said, and I ended up saying to her, oh, so then on November 29th, when these sons of bitches don't show, you're going to tell me it's December 6th. Then what? Weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
You know, I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be. A boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
Wooden Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Widden's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Wooden Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Wooden Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at widdenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
This is Patty Wilson.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're ready.
He's recording.
Why are you always saying your last name? It's Patty and Scott. Everybody knows who Patty and Scott.
I don't know. This is Patty Wilson. I am Patty Wilson.
What is the idea behind said promo?
It's for Patty's Playhouse. We're on Patty's Playhouse Saturdays at 11. Tune in. That's stupid. Just tune in. Saturdays at 11. Patty Wilson, Patty's Playhouse. House talk with a happy ending.
Each and every time.
There are endless options for storage sheds, carports, and gazebos from Southeast Portable Buildings. Put all your lawn equipment in new sheds so you can get that pool table and flat screen TV in your garage. Convert a storage shed into your very own happy hour place. 2 for 1 all day long. Want to try your hand at brewing your own beer? Get yourself your own brew barn. Looking to grow marijuana and get in on the game? Get yourself a grow shed. From she sheds and man caves to repair shops and trophy rooms, the possibilities are only limited to your imagination. Visit Southeast Portable Buildings today.
This is Dr. James Ryan Finn from Finn Chiropractic, and the holiday insanity is upon us. It's Halloween, it's Thanksgiving, it's Christmas, it's New Year's, and oh my gosh, Valentine's Day is around the corner. Well, don't wait to Valentine's Day to give yourself some love. Come to Finn Chiropractic. Let us get to the cause of your headaches, neck pain, back pain, numbness, and tingling before the holiday insanity takes its toll. Contact us at finnchiro.com. That's FENNCHIRO.com, because your chiropractor loves you and there's nothing you can do about it.
There's fun to be had every night at the Corner Pocket. Take home prizes on Trivia Tuesdays and Beer Bingo Thursdays. And kickstart your weekend with Martini Fridays. Plus, happy hour runs every weekday and game day specials every time the Noles take the field. Watch all the best games at the Corner Pocket's Vegas Wall, featuring 560 inches of flat screen TV heaven.
Oh, really?
The best food, the best drinks, and the best place to watch all the games. Tallahassee loves the Corner Pocket.
Coming up next, more of the Jeff Cameron Show. Live and local on Real Talk 93.3. WVFT, Greta, Tallahassee.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm John Scott. In Kenosha, Wisconsin, the jury reaches a verdict in the Kyle Rittenhouse murder trial. The court clerk reads part of the verdict.
As to the second count of the information, Richard McGinnis, we, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty. As to the third count of the information, unknown male, We, the jury, find the defendant, Kyle H. Rittenhouse, not guilty.
Rittenhouse cleared on all charges. Rittenhouse, then 17, had been charged with killing 2 men and wounding another during a night of protest in August of 2020. He had made a case for self-defense on the witness stand for each of the 3 shootings. As the verdict drew near, Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers pleaded for calm and said 500 National Guard members would be ready for duty in Kenosha if they were needed. Also at townhall.com.
On this vote, the yeas are 220, the nays are 213. The Build Back Better bill is passed.
House lawmakers approving President Biden's big domestic policy bill. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi announcing the results. Republicans opposed that $1.67 trillion package of education, healthcare, and climate change programs as reckless and too expensive. In remarks, House Minority Whip Steve Scalise says the Democrats' social and environmental bill isn't what they say it is.
You know who benefits the most in this bill? The largest decreases go to those making $1 million or more. That's right. The largest tax cuts go to the multimillionaires. Do you know who gets the smallest tax cuts? The smallest go to those making $40,000 to $50,000.
It was approved by a near party line 220 to 213 vote. On Wall Street, stocks remain mixed. The Dow is down 245 points, but the NASDAQ ahead 78. More at townhall.com.
Do your pets have the same energy they used to? Do they have problems with itching, scratching, a dull coat, or goopy ears? Then your pets need Dinovite.
DINOVITE.com.
For over 20 years, pet owners have trusted Dinovite to supplement their pet's diet.
We started Dinovite, and in our first box, we noticed a difference.
Dinovite is an all-natural daily supplement made from whole foods that help support your pet's immune system, digestion, skin, and coat.
Within 3 weeks, he's not scratching and itching, and he's an all-around happier dog.
Today's commercial pet foods are processed at high temperatures, which bakes out all the essential goodness. These processed foods can lack the essential vitamins, enzymes, and probiotics that contribute to overall good health. Adding a scoop of Dinovite to your pet's food bowl is the answer.
If you love your pets as much as I do, you'll want to do what's best for them to live long, healthy, happy lives. I have 2 cats and 2 dogs. All 4 of them are on the Dinovite.
You won't believe how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Barry knows cool. He's keeping you comfortable.
This is Kyle, Service Manager from Barano Heating and Air. Schedule an appointment from your mobile device to learn about our Total Comfort Service Program. With guaranteed same-day service, 15% off necessary repairs, and $25 berry bucks to use towards air filters and other products. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Barano Heating and Air. Any day, anytime, anywhere. Online at baranoac.com. Florida license, CAC 1816-186.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
Broadcasting live from Florida's capital city, this is the Jeff Cameron Show, brought to you by Orange Theory Fitness on Real Talk 93.3. Now, stop what you're doing and listen closely. It's time for the Jeff Cameron Show in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Florida State tomorrow noon, and looking forward to it because I do believe this is a test. It's a tough test, especially for a group that just came off a very, very emotional win. A game that obviously you needed to win for a lot of reasons, recruiting being first and foremost, but also for your own confidence and belief and a payoff for the hard work. But you know what good teams do, and this is not a good team, as evidenced by their record, but one that is growing, one that is getting better, one that we think will eventually turn into a good team, and they've developed the habits that get you there. But what teams do that take the next step is they handle that success. They enjoy it in the moment, and I think they certainly did as we saw the celebrations on Saturday. Maybe even revel in it another day or so, but then they button up, they get focused, and they put in the work necessary to ready themselves for another game against a team in which you're an underdog. So, again, you're going on the road to face a team that at the very least has shown to be your equal, in some areas better, in some areas worse. And if you're not focused, if you're not locked in, if you're not as pumped to play this game, or at least as intensely focused to play this game as you were the last, you go and get beat. And you don't undo the win that you just had, but you certainly dampen the spirits and the joy from having won that game. And you also remove yourself from consideration for a bowl in all likelihood. So this is an important game. It's a tough game, and I want to see where they're at on Saturday. It's a sleepy nooner. It's not a place that has an intense atmosphere. It's not a place where, a lot of times when you go on the road against a good team and a strong tradition and a large fan base, just walking out onto that field, running out onto that field from the tunnel is enough to be energized and to be focused and locked in because you're in a big-time place. You're in a big-time atmosphere. But that's not here. This place is sleepy. It's quiet. It's a little chilly. It's not tradition-laden at all. You have to provide your energy. You have to provide your focus. You have to provide your intensity. So tomorrow at noon, we'll see if they can. Tom and I have stated most of the week that we believe they can. We think they've been that kind of professional, for lack of a better term, that kind of buttoned up. And I'm interested to see if we're right. I mean, there's a chance we're not. So I'll be locked in at noon, just like everybody else, crossing my fingers that we get that group as focused as we think they should be.
They also cheat up there in Boston College. We know this because we were there for the 2014 game. Who was it that went nuts about that the drum line is on the speakers in the PA system? Was it you? Was it the Britons? Was it Alicia? Somebody in our group was mad about that. But they piped in the drum line from the band on the speaker system inside the stadium, which you're not allowed to do for every play.
They did. You're
every
right.
play.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, but nobody cares because it's so sleepy. Nobody cares. So if you did that at a big university in the South for a big time game, you'd get fined or something by the conference. The ACC doesn't really care at all. To me,
I wonder if they still do that. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure they do. They're probably still talking about their next Ireland trip too at every commercial break.
We
whenever
heard
that's
that
be.
4,000 times while we were there, buddy.
So for me, I think I'd be much more worried about effort and intensity if that Miami win was our 6th. And the Atlantic Division was out of play, and there's nothing to go get except a win over Florida.
Well,
I'd worry.
That's something.
Well, but you know what I mean. So therefore, you've hit your goal of going to a bowl. You can't win the Atlantic.
You can overlook this.
You've got Florida next week. So what the hell is this road trip up to Boston? Who cares?
Well, the good thing about you make a good point. The good thing about what Mike preaches and what the staff preaches and the consistency of message that we alluded to last hour is that it isn't necessarily about these peaks and valleys. It's always about the right way to prepare, the right way to compete, the right way to play the next play. Right? The right way to do all of those things. I think that's a smart way to build. You understand that you have rivals, and you understand there are going to be games that cause more adrenaline, more emotion than others. But if you go through the process, and we get tired of rolling our eyes at process talk, but if you go through that and you know that this is how we do things, there's a way to do things the right way. We're going to build it that way. You're going to prepare that way. And each and every week you'll be in a position to succeed because of it. Then you do usually find a way to avoid some valleys there. You don't want too many highs and too many lows. You'd like just a standard approach to playing good, solid, fundamental football, relying on one another and executing plays.
I understand that BC's quarterback being healthy adds to the difficulty of tomorrow's game. Of course, it makes them a better football team. It makes them a much better offense. But I keep coming back to the fact that what about what he does is going to surprise this defense. this defense has been exposed to a lot of good quarterback play this year. A lot of it. When you run down the schedule and you look through team by team, more times than not, the quarterback on the other sideline is a plus player for some reason. Devin Leary, a lot like the guy we're about to see tomorrow. Van Dyke, unbelievably dynamic. Didn't look like it in the first half, but he sure did in the second half when Miami started figuring things out, some of the throws that kid made. Jack Cohn, first week of the season, plays the game of his life. The throws, you can laugh about what he's been since then, but the throws that night, he's throwing kids open. It's ridiculous.
It infuriated me because I said that, you won't see him do that again this year. He has.
This guy can do it too tomorrow. There's no doubt about that. But what I'm saying is you're not going to get flustered by what this kid brings to the table.
Well prepared.
You're prepared.
You're very prepared. Yeah. It's just whether or not you're focused. That's why we continue to look at that. That focus has got to be there. I like the matchup. I really do think it matches up well for us. What we do well, they do poorly. So that's ideally what, you go on the road. If you want to run the ball, that travels typically, if you're able to run the ball. So again, this is not a game where you're going to have Jordan Travis throw the ball 30 times. You're going to want to run the same sort of offense you've been running. I think you can create those angles in the run game, give yourself a chance at explosive plays. And from there, I think you'll have success enough to be in a position to win it in the second half. I really fell in love with how hard and how intense, how physical our secondary played last week. If they show up here on Saturday early on and punish people for catching passes and get to the quarterback with the front four, this could be a very good day for Florida State. Now, I'm not getting ahead of myself here. I'm not getting carried away. It feels like a matchup that if they care and they're intense and they're focused and they execute, that we could win by a couple of scores in the second half.
They may be turning into something.
Yeah.
Right. That's the thing. Like, they're better with Amarian Cooper. I think we would agree with that.
Oh,
now,
without
right?
question.
It was, who the hell is that on the road at Clemson? Like, we all know the roster, but in the throes of a game and you see intercepted that 37. Oh my God, Amarian Cooper. To by the end of the Miami game, wait a minute. Maybe this guy is somebody that should be out there for every snap, like every week.
Yeah.
I think he makes us better in the secondary. What you saw out of Jamie Robinson last week getting downhill.
Well, he's made us better, period.
Absolutely,
he has.
A
good player, yeah.
Akeem Dent is inconsistent, but when he cares, he brings the thunder, man. He will hit you over the middle. And I think there are going to be some opportunities where Boston College receivers or tight ends over the middle could be open to taking a shot. And will we be in good enough position to finish them off in those plays, jar the football loose, and then it's either an incomplete pass or it's a direct turnover for us. And also, the last point that would concern me, and you mentioned this, if it wasn't yesterday, it was Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Travis.
Falling in love with his arm.
There it is.
Yeah,
you got to be very careful about that. That's something to monitor because it's all part of the growth process too.
Yeah. It's a catch-22. You want that confidence in the passing game. You want that element of attack in your offense that you haven't had.
It opens up your ground game if you do it.
It changes everything about who you are and what you can be. There's no doubt about that. At the same time, you can't expedite the growth. You can't suddenly be where you want to be as a passer because you had one good moment in the second half or a couple. You have to be able to show consistency with that. And, I worry that maybe early on in your effort to do that, you turn down some opportunities to take free yardage.
Because they can cover Boston College.
Well, and we don't have receivers that get open. So the combination is a problematic one. I will say this, in the games that I've watched, and I know, Tom, you go back for your features, but I've seen a couple Boston College games because I like to gamble. But they will play, and this is Hafley's MO, by the way. They will play an inordinate amount of man coverage. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, please do.
Right.
Please
exactly.
play man coverage because if you're in man, your back is to the quarterback, and we are about to take off on the regular.
Yeah, agreed. And that's what they give up.
And then run you into a zone, and
They're
then we'll run
content
the
to.
football.
The hard part with Boston College is there's really not a lot of good tape that you can consume because it's a complimentary game. And when you don't have your quarterback for half the season, like everything about the way the game plan is structured, the way the defense will play to the offense and vice versa changes. So it's hard to get a real gauge on how they want to call a game because even when they're fully healthy in the beginning of the season, they're facing Colgate, So like, I can't go watch the Colgate game and say, well, this is what Boston College is. From back in September, that's going to translate to what we see tomorrow against BC. So in an odd way, even though it's a November game, you don't have a lot to go on here. You almost have to go back to last year's film to understand anything about what they do.
Yeah. Hey, Rob, thank you for the contribution to what we do. Another one, and we appreciate that a lot. I mean that, and we really appreciate you. This is we have to give. We're required to every week. I say we're required to, like it's some sort of inconvenience. I don't mean it that way. Tom and I and every member of Warchant has to give their predictions for the week, and we video those and put them up on the site so that everybody knows where the folks that work at Warchant stand for that game that week. So for example, last week I had Florida State winning 31-28 or 31-30. Excuse me, I had them winning 31-30 over Miami. It turned out to be a great prediction. But sometimes you get it wrong, sometimes you get it right. I was not only buoyed, but I was a little bit arrogant this week when you guys reached out and said, Jeff, make a pick. And by arrogant, I mean I pushed the chips to the middle of the table there with Florida State winning 34-20. I feel like it could be a comfortable win. I said might even turn into a bit of a rocking chair game,
It's
buddy.
a foreign feeling.
It's weird to say aloud.
Yeah, if you consider what you've seen for North Carolina and Miami, which are two games in which we are sure that Jordan Travis was healthy and the offensive line was relatively healthy, even though we lost DLT in the North Carolina game, Bavion came in and did a wonderful job. You see what this offense can be, which is consistent against mediocre to slightly above average opponents defensively.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what this program is that we're seeing tomorrow. It's funny, too. I forgot to submit the video. I was late. I got it in to Aslan. But I'm so used to doing the report with you or somebody.
Yeah.
I've been doing the report for like 6 weeks straight.
Yeah.
That they said, hey, how about your prediction video there, Slick? It's like, oh, it's usually taken care of. But I, like you, had Florida State winning by multiple scores.
Did you? Okay.
Last week I picked the Noles to lose because I thought Miami just had too many athletes. And the second half looked like what I thought the whole game would look like. But Jermaine Johnson was the best player on the field. And that's what happens. When you've got the best player, they can wreck games and change outcomes.
Jermaine Johnson will be the best player on the field, and that includes Shurkovich, I think, tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, that's huge. That changes things.
I think getting to the quarterback and getting him off his spot and getting him flustered obviously changes the game. You're going to have to establish that early. If you don't, it could be a very long afternoon because if he's got time, he's going to hurt you. And we're just, we've seen improvement. We like where we're headed. We're not great yet. We still have guys that, we've seen the games.
But the question is, how confidence can make you something more than you've ever been.
Yeah.
Well, let's just say that they had a good week of practice, which is what the whispers suggest.
Yeah.
They could be better.
Well, they could be.
There's room to be better. It's not like they've hit their ceiling. This is it. They can't move forward.
Without
they could move forward.
And it would behoove the coaches to see that happen because these guys aren't guaranteed to be back next year, some of them. So absolutely. I like to believe and would like to believe, you hinted at it a few minutes ago, that they could be turning into something, for lack of a better term, right? Like they could be turning into a pretty good team. Maybe. Pretty good team is going to beat BC. Pretty good team's got a real good shot at beating Florida. Maybe even a bad team can beat Florida right now. We don't know which Florida will show up on that fateful day. We'll see. We'll be monitoring them. If Lee Sterling's right last hour and he has Mizzou beating Florida, well, I mean, you're going to get a Florida team that's going through the motions, probably. You always worry about that.
You got to put them down in the first round.
Yeah, you got to do early. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see.
Turn the crowd against them in the swamp, all of that.
I just don't know that we're necessarily equipped to do that just yet, but maybe we are. Maybe we're growing into that bunch. Maybe we're becoming that group that through the hard work and all the toughness and all the times you had to pick yourself up after an embarrassing, humiliating, historically bad loss, all those, maybe it's really hardened this group, and they are so thirsty for success that win last week was just like, oh, that was good. Let's keep this going. You know what? This is a lot better.
Well,
this is fun.
There are some teams where, a great example is in hockey in the playoffs. If you're down to one Canadian team, right, and it's a winner-take-all game, Canada hasn't won the cup in nearly 30 years, and the pressure of a country is on that team. That counts for something. It takes a special Chicago Cubs team with David Ross to win the World Series, especially in a Game 7, because you feel that. The moment you sign with that organization, you feel the way. It'll take a special baseball team here in Tallahassee to win the College World Series, who can handle all those whispers.
Because of the weight of the lost opportunities, right?
And those whispers will grow to shouts when they get off the plane in Omaha. They'll be quiet. Then you get on the plane in Omaha, you land, and you're going to feel the weight of that. What does this team have anything to be afraid about? Like, you think about all the things this group has gone through, either this season or the past 3 or 4 years if they've been here on campus that long. What do you have to be afraid of if you're the Noles? Nothing.
Yeah.
That includes a trip to Gainesville. What are you afraid of? You've already been through the depths of hell.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think they'll be afraid at any point. I think they are hardened and tough, you know. I mean, we talked a lot this week about one of my favorite aspects of the 4th and 14 conversion, and it gives you a lot of hope moving forward, is that's in rhythm. That's a real play. That's an element of the passing game we haven't seen. He throws it in the most crucial moment with the most amount of pressure that you could possibly have. A do-or-die situation.
Quiet feet, quiet body.
And he throws it in a way that we've been waiting for a long time, and it's beautiful to watch, and it's a sign of real growth and emotional maturity and confidence. So, yeah, I don't think they're afraid. I've never thought he was afraid. I just needed him to get better, and he's gotten better, and let's see if he can consistently do that. That'd be good.
You can see games where teams that go on the road, there's a lot of false start penalties and anticipation penalties. You're like, man, they're nervous.
Well, Miami.
Look at Miami last
week. Jesus. That was an embarrassment. That's enough to get you in a little bit of trouble with your athletic director, whom they fired. But I would just say that
it's one part of the montage that didn't make it on Monday. A lot of other things did, but offsides.
It's crazy the amount of dumbass penalties Miami committed to start the game. You can call it being overly locked in and intense or emotionally in the red. That's not a well prepared team. That was not a. They lost that game in the first half. I mean, it's 17-0.
Yeah.
They lose that game in the first half. That killed them. And I think this late in the year, you can't have that. And I don't worry about that with our guys. That's another thing that's really been something, the box to check. I don't worry about it. They've cleaned it up a lot. Chef Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Applications, onboarding, payroll, termination. Business owners and managers, these are the processes that take away too much time from what you do best. But what if there was a locally owned, responsive solution that would charge you a fraction of the big national payroll companies? Sound too good to be true? It's not. North Florida Payroll Services is Tallahassee owned for nearly 15 years. And in that time, their prices have never changed. The reason North Florida Payroll Services can do that? Exceptional customer service that constantly evolves with the latest technology. From application to termination, for turnkey service for your payroll and HR services, trust a Tallahassee expert and save yourself time and money. North Florida Payroll Services. Online at northfloridapayroll.com.
Our partners at ISF know you want to do amazing things. You have big ideas and goals for the future. For over 40 years, ISF has focused on solving the future for state government through strategy, process, and technology. As a national management and IT consulting firm, ISF has the expertise to transform strategies, refine processes, and implement solutions to lead you in today's changing environment. ISF, your vision plus our expertise brings your brilliant ideas to life. Visit ISF.com to learn more. ISF, solving the future.
When you need a plumber quick, how long is an acceptable time to have to wait?
Yeah, hey, it's the Millers again. Just calling you about our little plumbing problem.
2 hours?
Hey, we were hoping you can get here soon because the water is getting really bad. I mean, please hurry.
4 hours?
I know you said you were on your way, but, honey, tell the kids to tread water.
8 hours?
Don't worry about us. We're fine.
At M&L Plumbing, you'll never have to wait long for quality, dependable service right when you need it. At M&L Plumbing, we listen to our customers, and our qualified technicians aim to achieve 100% customer satisfaction. So the next time you need plumbing work or repairs, think of the name M&L Plumbing, your local plumbing experts, commercial or residential. Give us a call, 850-575-9393, or visit us online at mndlplumbing.com. M&L Plumbing, for all of your plumbing needs.
I call Swain Pools and Spas. Now I'm soaking up the fun when I want to.
I call Tallahassee Car Care and they're fixing my car when I want to.
Hey, what are you doing? This is a Swain Pools and Spas commercial.
I'm turning it into a Tallahassee Car Care commercial.
But Swain Pools and Spas is a full-service shop offering sales, renovation, supplies, and more for years.
And Tallahassee Car Care is a full-service shop offering brake and tire service, batteries, oil changes, and more for years.
But people go to Swain Pools for quality and reliability. Nobody knows more about pools and spas, and Swain has new Caldera spas in stock right now.
And people go to Tallahassee Car Care for their 5-star service at great prices, with most maintenance done by their certified technicians while you wait.
You know what? Just look for the big Swain sign on West Tharp Street, because Swain Pools and Tallahassee Car Care are under the same roof. Online at swainpools.com.
Online at TallahasseeCarCare.com.
Swain Pools and Spas.
Clean, renewable energy means fresher air, healthier residents, new green jobs, and a stronger, more resilient community. How we get there is up to you. Share your input today to help shape the Tallahassee of tomorrow. Take the Clean Energy Survey at talgov.com.
We all want more energy, more strength, more results. Well, welcome to Orange Theory Fitness as you take a step towards feeling more alive today. Backed by science, Orange Theory's heart rate monitored workout is scientifically designed to keep heart rates in a target zone, spiking metabolism and increasing energy. Orange Theory Fitness is a one-of-a-kind group personal training workout resulting in more energy, visible toning, and extra calorie burn for up to 36 hours. Experience a more vibrant life today with Orange Theory Fitness. To find out more, go to orangetheoryfitness.com.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com multimedia network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
On-demand nature of hitting the play button, but they don't really equalize their songs to be uniform.
No.
Like some bands and some songs,
Yeah, like, woo!
nothing, and then you turn it up, and then you have a mix going. The next one, you're like, hey, man, can we get that EQ?
Can we get that EQ right?
Can we give a little haircut to those waves?
Khalil Mack is done. He will have a season-ending foot surgery in the next day or so and be placed on injured reserve. So the worst news is what they were hoping against. Obviously, they're in Chicago, but that is that. NFL news in general has seen a lot of discussion about injuries. That's true in Arizona. That's true in Baltimore. That's been true in Tampa Bay. But that's what that league is always is can you get right as you get late in the year, and can you get your most important pieces of the puzzle back on the football field for the biggest matchup? So, unfortunately for the Bears, it's pretty much a lost year, save for the development of a quarterback, but they now lose their best player. So, pretty brutal there. In fact, it's time to look at the slate. We'll take a look at the schedule right now because we're going to have to talk to Mom and continue the whooping train. That's what I want to call it, just the whooping train, buddy. Cue it up. Let's hear it. Let's do it.
And now for another edition of the Family Pick. Nick.
Go to your room! Ma, the meatloaf!
Take it away, Jeffrey.
Well, Mama, I'm going to assume that we both had the Patriots last night. I know I did. I said that publicly on the airwaves, and I'll trust that you did too.
Yes, fortunately, I did. Good Lord. I don't know. That was a terrible game last night. I thought it was boring, and anyway, I didn't like it. But anyway, yes, I did.
Yeah, it was boring because the Falcons were terrible and the Patriots defense dominated the day. There was one offensive touchdown in this game, and it came in the first half, and if you blinked and missed it, you didn't see another one.
I know, it's crazy. I think, in the beginning, of course, we didn't think New England was doing very well, but I think they're going to, they seem to be coming on. They may be, we may need to worry about them.
They've won 5 straight. Yeah, they've played really well.
I know.
All right, Saints at Eagles, Mother.
Yeah, Saints and Eagles. I have 4 hard games this week. This is one of them. I picked the Saints, but I don't really know why, but I did.
I'm going to take the Eagles. Eagles playing better lately, and I don't think the Saints are long for the playoff discussion. I think this begins to be a problem for them at quarterback without Jameis, and so I'll take the Eagles.
Well, that's what I was thinking. They really don't have a quarterback, and so I don't know. But anyway, I took them, so we'll see. And if they are terrible, then I'll have to not pick them again.
The Dolphins are at the Jets in a game that nobody wants to watch, but it's an intriguing matchup. Who you got?
I got Miami.
Me too. Washington's at Carolina.
Yeah, like I told you last week, watch out for that Washington and see what happened. But I'm taking Carolina.
I am too. I hate this game. These two teams are garbage. That's why it makes it all the more, mystifying that the Bucs went there and played the way they did. But yeah, I'll take the Panthers as well.
It's a hard one.
Colts and Bills.
Colts and Bills. I took the Bills.
Bills got to wake up here. They're not playing well lately. I'll take the Bills.
I know, but hopefully they will. They're playing at Buffalo, so I hope so.
Lions at Browns.
I know. I'm taking Cleveland.
Bad
I'm
teams
giving
right
up on Detroit.
Hey, Detroit got you a tie last week.
They tied last week.
I know. 49ers at Jags.
Yeah, I'm taking the 49ers.
Texans at Titans.
I'm taking the Titans.
Packers at Vikings.
Yeah, this is an interesting game. I'm taking Green Bay, though. I really don't want them to win, but I'm taking them.
I'm going to take the Vikings.
Okay, good for you.
I'm going to take Minnesota, kind of a last stand here. They're 4-5. They should be a better team than that record. They've been in some situations where they botched the ending. I think they don't botch the ending this weekend. I'll take the Vikings.
Okay.
Ravens at Bears.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens. I don't know. That team makes me nervous, too, but I'm taking them.
Bengals at Raiders.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bengals.
Me too, although they've been weird lately, too.
I know.
That's
I
two.
told you there's like 4 games this week that I don't know.
Schizophrenic teams, both of them. Cardinals at Seahawks.
Yeah, now I have a question about this game. Is Kyler Murray going to play for Arizona?
They are saying game time decision, and it really is the whole thing, right? You can't take, both of us would take the Cardinals if Kyler Murray's playing. If he's not playing, then you would jump on the Seahawks. It stinks.
I know.
Yeah.
Because I have a big question mark here by that, and so I would absolutely take Arizona if he was playing. But if he's not, then that is a real problem. So I put my initial by Seattle with the question mark, wanting to know what was happening.
All right, this is what we can do, Mother. This is how we'll play this. I, too, will take the Seahawks because I don't think Kyler Murray's playing. The game, we're going to admit it now to our audience. If Kyler Murray starts, we're both switching our picks, so it really won't matter. It's just a wash.
Okay, all right, I'll agree to that.
All right, Cowboys at Chiefs, and what's the great game of the day right there?
I know it, and I have agonized over this game all day, and I don't know what to do. I think that Kansas City has got to win. It would seem to me they need to get back on track. And I just don't know I know their defense is terrible. And then Dallas I don't know, they looked so terrible, 2 weeks ago? I just don't know what to do. But since they're at Kansas City, I'm taking Kansas City. But my heart is not completely in it.
Cowboys and Chiefs both looked great last week. Cowboys drubbed Atlanta, and the Chiefs found themselves and played very well on both sides of the ball. I'll take the Cowboys on the road. We got another one different here. I like the Cowboys, and I think Zeke plays a big part of this one. They'll run on the Chiefs. I'll take the Cowboys on the road.
Okay.
Steelers, Chargers.
Yeah, I'm taking the Chargers.
And finally, Giants, Bucks. You're taking the Bucks.
I am, but they better, speaking about getting their stuff together, they need to get together. I don't know who's playing this week. I haven't looked yet to see if Gronk is playing or AB is playing or who's playing.
Well, I don't know about AB's situation because he's a dumbass, but let's see here what we have. I'll double check quickly.
Gronk was optimistic, but we'll see.
Yeah.
And what about Sean Murphy Bunting? And I don't understand why in the world O.J. Howard, they haven't used him at all with all of these people they have out on offense. I can't figure it out.
Well, he kind of sucks. And that's and that's the problem. He would have had every opportunity. Now, I do think some of this is a lingering effect from the injury. I don't think he's nearly as healthy as he was. Obviously, you saw in the very brief time that they had together, he and Tom Brady, they found something. There was the long touchdown against the Chargers last year in the game I attended, and it looked like he was about to take off in this offense. Since he's come back, he has not looked nearly as explosive. I don't think he's anywhere near physically where he was prior to the injury. I think he's able to play. He's just not himself. And so he's not winning matchups. He's not right now. When he's out there, he's not a go-to option because he doesn't get separation.
Yeah, it's really a shame, and Tom really relies on Gronk, and I think AB too. Whenever he's got to get the ball to somebody that he knows can catch it, because like last week, he hit several people right in the hands, and they dropped the ball.
Yeah, early in the game that happened, and it led to an interception on one of them, obviously. But
That was very frustrating. Then they got behind, and then they had to, work from being behind, and Washington got all excited. And so
yes, they did.
Had a chance to win.
Yeah.
So there you go.
They did. Love you, Mama. That's it. That's all. We got 3 games different.
All right, we got 3. We got Philadelphia, New Orleans, Minnesota, Green Bay, and Dallas, Kansas City.
Yes, that is correct. Good job.
I need to win all of those.
You do. You're down, what, 9?
No, 8.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, 8.
8,
Yeah,
9.
that's bad enough, for heaven's sake.
Bye, Mama. Love you.
All right, have a good weekend. Love you too.
You
Bye-bye.
too. Bye-bye. There you go. All right, so pretty contested this week.
That's right. Well, and your second and third games, Green Bay, Minnesota, and Kansas City, Dallas, are elite uniform games. Elite.
Yeah. I'm excited about those games for a lot of reasons. They're all very, very intriguing. I'm playing a hunch on that Vikings game.
Well, they're the only team in the NFL to hold a 7-point advantage in every single game this season.
Well, they have really found ways to butcher the ends of games. I've sat there and been in awe.
And you take a look at some of the opponents. Like, for example, they missed a 30-something yard field goal against Arizona in week 2 or week 3 to win that football game. In retrospect, that's a good that shows you that they're not bad. Week 1, Kansas City, an overtime loss. In retrospect, week 1 at the time, you're like, whatever, Kansas City, or Cincinnati is the week 1 opponent. In week 1, you're like, whatever, Cincinnati, they're no good anyway. No, they're pretty good. So's Arizona. So are some of the other. They beat the Chargers. This is a team they're weird, but they might be good.
I think they're kind of good. I do. Every time I watch them, I think there are pieces there. But they have found weird ways to lose football games. Jeff Cameron Show 93.3, Real Talk Radio, and Warchant TV.
Your local news now.
Governor DeSantis signed 4 bills Thursday meant to hobble coronavirus vaccine mandates in Florida. The GOP majority was able to pass all 4 of the bills Wednesday evening. Republicans have maintained that the bills will protect workers from recently announced federal mandates. Attorney General Ashley Moody also announced Thursday the state is suing the Biden administration over the vaccine mandate. Topgolf Live Stadium Tour is stopping at Doak Campbell Stadium from Thursday, November 18th through Sunday, November 21st. The Topgolf Live Stadium Tour transforms America's most iconic venues into Topgolf-like experiences. Hitting bays are set up in the south end zone, and golfers can aim at targets on the football field. Top Tracer technology is inside the golf balls, tracking a player's score and where their shot lands. Game screens are in each hitting bay, allowing players to review their shot and score with instant replay. Groups of up to 6 players can compete at each hitting bay. Tee times are an hour long. To reserve a tee time, visit Topgolf's website. This is Rachel Lene with your Real Talk 93.3 local news update, brought to you by Macklemore Systems, Tallahassee's go-to Mac store. Check them out online at MacklemoreSystems.com.
This is meteorologist Paul Trombley with your Real Talk 93.3 weather update. Mainly sunny this afternoon with daytime highs approaching 71. Winds out of the northeast, 8 to 15 miles per hour. Partly cloudy skies tonight, lows around 50. Highs level off around 70 tomorrow. Mainly sunny skies and calm. Sunshine mixed with clouds at times. Sunday with daytime highs approaching 74. 68 Monday. This report is brought to you by the Lawn Johns. For all your landscaping and lawn care needs, visit thelawnjohns.com. Right now, 71.
Every great construction project, whether it's a new addition or renovation, starts with a plan. At T-Spark, we are excited when our clients contact us to assist with that plan. Through our team of architects, draftsmen, engineers, we can help you with your project's planning and design, potentially saving costs in the long run. Whether you have a residential or commercial project, we look forward to working with you. Call us today or visit us at tsparkconstruction.com. License number CGC 1525336.
Live and living color and totally free. Subscribe to Warchant TV on YouTube, the digital home of Warchant.com. From the practice field to pregame and the phone calls afterwards, Warchant's YouTube channel is home to live programming like Seminole Headlines, Wake Up Warchant, The Jeff Cameron Show, as well as Trench Talk, a live Q&A with Noles offensive lineman Devontae Love-Taylor. Just search Warchant on YouTube and click or tap the subscribe button. That's it. It's totally free. Warchant TV on YouTube. Just another reason we're the ultimate Seminole sports source.
If you weren't the owner of Gordo's and all those wonderful restaurants, Eddie, what would you be doing?
I think I'd want to be I don't know what I'd want to be, a boat captain or a cowboy.
You know how to use a lasso?
No.
You'd have to do that if you were a cowboy.
Yeah, but I've never even been on a horse. It's not my place to be on a horse.
I agree. And the horse thanks you. Gordo's, bringing the flavor and flair of Cuban food to Tallahassee since 1996.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
Who's the bright guy? I went back through and looked at all the positions that were opening and that had opened. But man alive, you're looking at some game. There's some teams that you just wouldn't care about at all. UMass, Jacksonville State, by the way. Of course, he got his big win over us. Florida International, Butch Davis said peace. Tom Arth at Akron, gone. Not the jobs that you're talking about on the regular, but yes. Perhaps we look at Miami. Will they go with Lane Kiffin? Will he say yes? Last hour, Lee Sterling says he will. I think that's wishful thinking on Lee's part, but it's perhaps spot on, because I would say this. If they pay him $6.5 billion or thereabouts, and you can get out from under having to try to knock off Alabama every year in the SEC, and Georgia, then yeah, maybe you do that.
Right, but Ole Miss is going to counter with 7 or 7.5. You're going to play that game. Miami might have enough, maybe this time, to make these massive one-time investment. I want to see it to believe it, but I think down there in Miami circles, they certainly believe that Lane would show up if he was asked to take the job, because there was already a radio report down there yesterday that said if they offer it to Lane, Lane's going to take it. So I don't know what side is putting out those feelers. If this is Jimmy Sexton just trying to make sure that his client gets an extra 1.5 to $2 million a year, but whatever it is, we'll see in the coming, 3-4 weeks.
Lane Kiffin, let's pull it up here, Tom. My man here has been at Ole Miss for all of these 2 years. If he leaves, that's 2 years, 2 years at the previous job at Florida Atlantic, 2 years at Alabama, 3 years at Southern Cal, a season at Tennessee, 07-08 with the Raiders. I mean, geez Louise.
That's true.
My man is a one and done or two and done at best every place he goes.
That the first year, next year, let's just say he took the gig with Van Dyke. That's a problem. That's a real problem, because that kid plays like Lane Kiffin coaches.
Yeah.
To go for it at all times.
So listen, they're 5 and he's got a quarterback now. He's got Matt Corral right now, one of the best quarterbacks in the league in college football. They're having a good year, but they were 5-5 a year ago. They're 8-2 currently. They've had a good season. They've had a whole lot of real close calls this year. I don't know.
I would think Miami would have to pay 8.5 to go get him. Ole Miss is not, unless Lane sees the bigger picture, he wants to take a discount so he can hire a super staff. But at that point, you're believing that Miami can get to a place that it hasn't been since Lane was following Monty around at practices, asking for a ride home. You know what I mean? So you'd have to believe that I'm going to go all in on this program. Now, he does love him some Boca and living down in South Florida. He absolutely loves everything about that. But you would have to take a pay cut, I would think, in order to get all the personnel that you want in there from a coaching standpoint. Because Ole Miss, if it goes dollar for dollar and he just goes to the highest bidder, Miami's going to have to wager in the 8s.
Yeah,
Ole Miss ain't going to let him walk. There's no way.
Yeah, well, and they're already, Ole Miss is already saying and kind of acting upon this as if they know that they've got to do exactly what you're describing. So, I don't know. That is a football crazy place. They have increased their profile at Ole Miss because of Lane's presence without question, and he's having a good season. So they don't want that to go away.
They've got SEC TV money on top of their booster money.
Well, I was going to say they've got booster money and they've got a passion. They got
So they're trying to get an announcement before the Egg Bowl. That's this weekend. I'm sure they're negotiating heavily to try and just get a deal done.
Nobody loves this more than my man Jimmy Sexton, who right now is a very busy guy. There are job openings everywhere. Washington, TCU, all the other stuff. I mean,
USC, LSU.
By the way, if you're Lane and if you had the choice, LSU or Miami, that's a different decision. That LSU job is fantastic. Those are, as you know, very well know, passionate fans, lots of money. You can recruit your ass off in Louisiana. You keep that town in the state, you are golden. That's a good job. That's a better job than the Miami job for sure.
I understand that Aranda has a lot of connections to the West Coast, but I feel like given that he was back at LSU, right? That's a part of his time as a coach. Wouldn't he be the perfect hire for them?
Yeah, but they're not going to win that battle. Southern Cal offers him the job. He's taking that job, and it'll happen in an hour. I mean, that's over. He's from Southern Cal. He's going to USC if that job opens up, and that's not a bad job. I mean, if you're able to secure recruits out of the state of California, you're going to be all right at USC. And if you've got the kind of money that they'll pay, you can live in the nice spots of Los Angeles. You can be okay for yourself.
Oh, I'd negotiate that it's somebody else's home that they just put me up in with the real estate taxes.
Somebody else's mansion that they put me up
Absolutely.
in.
A booster. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I want that one in Malibu. Thank you very much.
I'll take that.
We'd take the pictures with the recruits out here when they come, for a visit. It's perfect.
But, I think that's who's going to get that job. I'll tell you, I find it really interesting, this Virginia Tech job that we've continued to discuss. The thought is Dave Clawson is who they're going to go after. And, okay.
It's a good hire if they could get him. That's a real good hire because that's admitting who you are and what you have to be to get where you want to go.
Yeah, I think, and I would love to see it happen. And this has been rumored a couple of times. If they want to go a defensive route, they've talked about perhaps going after Mike Elko or Brent Venables. Yeah, that'd be great. Take Brent's ass out of Clemson. Let's go.
At some point.
Let's go. Get him. I'm so tired of this. Go. Get him. Go get Brent Venables. Yes, and listen, I like Elko a lot, but, obviously for our purposes, Venables is the right DC to go after, not Elko. Venables is the right one.
Feels like TCU and Venables just has a nice fit to it too, because he's got big.
Just get him
ties.
the hell out of here. Yeah.
Well, in general, like if you're looking for a landing
TCU job's
spot,
a good job.
Yeah,
it's a sneaky good job. They've got I know I kind of recoiled a bit when I was thinking about the right guys for that job and would you want it because you have what you have to compete for. But they have a ton of money. They've got really good facilities. They've got a passionate fan base. Yeah, I mean that's
the problem. Is will the Power Five be the Power Five in 2 or 3 seasons when Texas and Oklahoma walk? Or will we look at the Big 12 and just say that you're another American conference?
Right.
Because that would be a huge point of my decision. If I'm Brent, am I walking to a Group of 5 team or a Power 5 program that's going to, if we go undefeated, make it into the college football playoff?
Yeah, and if you're Brent, you've got a lot of money. You've been paid handsomely as a coordinator. You don't have to just take any old job. You can take the job you want.
Or if we lose a game, can I be an at-large team? Like, is the profile of those games, Oklahoma State, TCU, is that going to be enough star power to get the playoff committee to say that you're good enough to get in or no?
I've been fascinated by I got done reading that long article on Billy Napier in The Athletic, and they did a good job of kind of documenting who he is. First of all, I'd forgotten he had been at Clemson, got fired by Dabo Swinney, and ended up with Nick Saban at Alabama. That worked out, but he's done great things at Louisiana, obviously. But one of the things that I liked, that I learned about him, and you would want this as for anybody if he was a coaching candidate, he's got 5 or 6 things that he has. I mean, he is meticulous on the details. He lives college football year round, and he loves the process, all of it. He loves off-season conditioning. He loves everything about college football, and he's not motivated by money. He's motivated by making sure he's in a place in which the relationship between the president, the athletic director, that's streamlined. Everybody is in communication, pulling in the right direction. He's turned down bigger jobs than he has currently. And the thought is that he's waiting for a couple of different jobs that he's identified as perfect. And one of those is the LSU job. And if they can handle hiring a guy who's coaching, quote, at a lower level, because they understand that he's a mini Nick Saban, then that's probably the right hire, because he's recruited his ass off in the state of Louisiana.
He's been on hot boards for FSU for how many different cycles?
Yeah.
Because that's the word. Is that
he's meticulous.
If it needs to happen, old Billy can make it happen.
Yeah, Billy can make it happen. Come back, wrap it up momentarily. Jeff Cameron Show, 93.3 Real Talk Radio, Warchant TV.
Hi, Chris Kraft for the Kraft Brothers dealerships. At Kraft Nissan, we've been amazed at the number of Toyota and Honda people trading up to Nissan's new family of SUVs. The changes are stunning. And don't just take my word for it. Motor Trend tagged Rogue as the 2021 SUV of the Year finalist, adding that Rogue can go toe-to-toe with Honda and Toyota. Well, guess what, Tallahassee? We can't keep the new Rogues on the showroom floor. Seriously, if you haven't seen one for yourself, come take a test drive and you'll see the new Rogue sells itself. In the 2022 Nissan Pathfinder, it's roomier, quicker, and better equipped. Plus, the second row seats easily slide and flip forward to allow access to the third row, even with a child seat installed. And finally, Car and Driver says savvy shoppers will be surprised by the new Armada's luxuriousness. So I encourage SUV lovers to come see the new Nissan family of SUVs. Everyone knows that Nissan SUVs have more standard equipment than the competition. The award-winning Rogue, Pathfinder, and Armada, only at Kraft Nissan, Mahan Drive, Tallahassee.
Whitten Glass has been taking care of families since 1945.
Experienced, reliable professionals who offer only the best, like Whitten's top-of-the-line bath enclosures. Eye-catching storefronts are a specialty at Whitten Glass, and they provide precise installation.
Whitten Glass, Tallahassee's first family in glass. Online at whittenglass.com. Call 850-222-5781.
Services, conferences to call away.
222-7722. Heating and cooling is the job we do. Systems, service installation too. 222-7722. Parker Services, conferences to call away.
Hello, this is Jeremy. During this time of reflection, I want to thank our many wonderful customers. It is truly an honor to serve each of you, and we are so blessed to consider many of you our friends. Tallahassee is a very special place that attracts the nicest people on the planet. Personally, I'm thankful to care for our area's home comfort systems along with the amazing team of Parker Services employees. Their commitment to the service of each customer is incredible and an inspiration to be around. We at Parker Services wish each of you a very happy Thanksgiving.
Parker Services, conferences to call away.
Live and living color and totally free. Subscribe to Warchant TV on YouTube, the digital home of Warchant.com. From the practice field to pregame and the phone calls afterwards, Warchant's YouTube channel is home to live programming like Seminole Headlines, Wake Up Warchant, The Jeff Cameron Show, as well as Trench Talk, a live Q&A with Noles offensive lineman Devontae Love-Taylor. Just search Warchant on YouTube and click or tap the subscribe button. That's it. It's totally free. Warchant TV on YouTube. Just another reason we're the ultimate Seminole sports source.
The Jeff Cameron Show is a production of the Warchant.com Multimedia Network. Check out Warchant.com today for the latest news inside Florida State athletics. That's Warchant.com. Now, back to Jeff on Real Talk 93.3.
To do their work for them, T-Spark Enterprises hires employees, and that's because they value the immense benefits that come with having a trusted, reliable, and highly trained crew that can be held to the high standards T-Spark is known for. Experts in their craft, pride in their work. That's the T-Spark difference. T-Spark, best in town. Give them a call today, 766-1340, or you can get a free quote online at tsparkconstruction.com. You know, I said to take the over last night in Louisville, Duke. That number was at 60. We cruised on past that over. Louisville got there by themselves. Tom, do you want to interrupt the wind train and pick a hockey Red Russian moment. Do you have anything for tonight, or do you want me to give out some more winners?
I've got a play. Doesn't involve hockey, but why would I go first when you have indicated to the world that you've got a good feel for things?
Well, I've got a good feel for things this weekend, and I did get the first leg of a 2-team teaser pleaser last night. That was good. We gotta hope now Baltimore does the right thing. We don't have a problem there. We get the win with Baltimore, and we say, all right, that's money train. Now, I'll give you another one here in a second, and it will be brought to you by North Florida Payroll Services, locally owned for nearly 15 years, offering payroll and HR services, including full online applicant onboarding and integration into payroll. Save your company money and headaches today. Head to northfloridapayroll.com.
Hey, Big Daddy, having some Red Russians tonight?
We'll know in about 47 seconds.
To an open wing. It's picked up by Dowdy, an empty net. He scores.
Hot damn, Big Daddy's done it again. Red Russians all around, Teddy. All right, Big Daddy.
Fun, isn't it? Oh, it's fun. By the way, did you happen to notice, Tom, that Malik Cunningham, your guy, you want to talk about on the table, as I like to say? My man personally accounted for 527 yards last night. 303 passing, 224 rushing. Duke has told us that the dead fish is no more.
Right. The dead fish sleeps with the fishes.
He sleeps with the fishes, indeed. That's it. That's all. All right, I'll give it to you again. Tonight in Houston, number 24, Houston, taking on Memphis. We're going over. Jump on it if you didn't get it yesterday from me. That number is 59.5. Sailing to the over, baby. And oh, by the way, Tommy, tonight, if you're feeling froggy and football's getting late, sun setting high, you've got Southern Miss and Louisiana Tech, maybe not your cup of tea. You say, Jeff, I don't want to watch that game. I understand. The aforementioned Memphis-Houston game comes on at 9 from TD-ECU Stadium.
TD-ECU Stadium?
Yeah, that's right.
Touchdown, ECU.
By the way, I failed to mention it, in Ruston, Louisiana, houses the stadium that Louisiana Tech plays in, and that is the Joe Allele Stadium, just so you know. Arizona at Washington State tonight at 9. That's oddly Marlin Stadium, or that's Martin Stadium in Pullman. My bad. Can't read, Jeff. Air Force, Nevada. Yes, please. There's the game. That's the one you want to watch. Upset alert for Nevada. Air Force plays hard. They play well. They're well coached. 9 o'clock, Mackey Stadium in Reno. Let's watch that baby at 9 o'clock tonight.
All right. Here's your winner for the weekend from me. Take it with a grain of salt.
Okay.
I'm on a neutral. It's neither heat nor it's cold. It's lukewarm.
It's a little warm.
Lukewarm.
You know what? We're just simmering some spinach here with a little bit of butter.
Yeah. You heard it. If you listen closely when they were talking when Lee Sterling was on about Missouri and Florida.
Mm-hmm.
The team total is 28.5.
Over for Missouri is where you're going.
I'm going up top. We're going over on the
going
Missouri
downtown.
team.
We're doing
they
a Jeff
average
Bowden.
31 points a game anyway.
Let's go.
They're about to play a non-motivated Florida defense. They gave
go.
up 40 to Sanford and a half. So I'll take the over on the 28.5 for Mizzou.
I'm going to give you another one. We're
All
out
right.
here just giving away victories. Michigan's going to kill Maryland. There you go. Michigan's going to kill Maryland.
There it is.
Yep. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
The twerps.
That's at 3:30 at Maryland Stadium in College Park. It is actually called Maryland Stadium. I didn't make that up. This is the time of the show where I give you the stadium names.
It's the time of the week, too.
It is.
It's an early kick tomorrow, early to bed, early to rise. Let's go. Got
It's
some
late in the
chores to
year.
get done.
I'm staying up late tonight. Oh, forget about it.
You're staying.
I'm staying. I'm finishing my coffee. I'm watching Air Force in Nevada. Damn it. It's football. It's 9 o'clock. It's Mackey Stadium. It's Reno, Nevada. It's a rivalry. Let's go.
I got to get chores out of the way because I've got the post-game show. So it's about 11:30 to about 5 or 5:30 tomorrow. I've got the block of time. Join us on Warchant TV, won't you please?
Yep.
10 to 15 minutes after the Noles take down
After
BC.
that big win, after that 34-20 vanquishing of Boston College, I'll tune in, Tom. I won't call in, but I'll tune in. I'll put it on the backdrop while I watch some football and crack a cold one.
Goodbye,
Say,
YouTubers.
Look at my man still having to work.